Hey guys, it's me again, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about change from a dollar. So remember my first video where I was showing you how when you spend part of the dollar, the part you spend and the part you get back are the two pieces that make up 100. So we're going to look at this problem, and this time we're going to use coins. I'm going to show you a really cool way to count up until you get to 100, okay? So if we are buying this little calculator that costs 52 cents, what would our change back be from a dollar? What's the amount going to be that we get back? So I'm going to show you something. I want you to think about landmark numbers. Landmark numbers end in either 5 or 0. So let's look at the number 52. Is that a landmark number? It ends in a 2. In the ones place, there's a 2. That is not a landmark number. We want to get to the next landmark number, which would be 55. Okay, so first I'm going to start by putting on pennies. We're going to count up till we land on 100. So right now I'm at 52. So I'm going to draw and count out loud. I'm going to count as I draw my pennies. So 53, 54, 55. 53, 54, 55. So here I have put on pennies until I got to the number 55. Now that I'm at 55, I can use other coins to count up to 100. So at 55, I'm going to put a nickel on. So if I were at 55 and I put a nickel on, that's going to get me to 60. But I'm not at 100 yet, so I have to keep putting on coins. I could keep drawing 5s, but that wouldn't be super efficient. So I'm going to use some 10s, okay? So I'm at 60, so 70, 80, 90, 100. 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so now I've landed on 100. So I was at 52. I put on some pennies until I reach a landmark number. A landmark number has a 5 or a 0 in the ones place. So 53, 54, 55. This is a landmark number. Now I'm going to shift and use other coins, not pennies anymore. I could count back all pennies, but that would take me a really long time. It would not be efficient, and that is not how mathematicians work. So 53, 54, 55. Now I'm at 55. And then I put a nickel on and I got to 60. And then I put 4 dimes, 70, 80, 90, 100. So this is what I spent. This is the part I'm going to get back. So I have to count up how much this is. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48. So I'm going to get back 48 cents. Now remember, when we write money, we always have the amount and we have to have a cent sign because right now we're talking about cents. So now I'm going to check myself. If I look at 52 and 48, if I put those two amounts together, will I get 100? So what is 50 plus 40? Well, 5 plus 4 is 9. So 50 plus 40 is 90. And then 2 plus 8 makes a 10. What is 90 plus that 10? 100. So that's a way I can check myself to make sure I got the right answer. Okay, let's look at another one. This time, we're buying this little eraser that costs 17 cents. We fold the paper, so we'll just focus on this one at a time. Okay, here's 17 cents. This is how much the eraser costs. I pay with $1. This is like 100. So I need to count up until I land on 100. So I'm at 17. 7 in the ones place tells me this is not a landmark number. I'm going to use pennies until I land on a landmark number. So I'm going to go 18. Pencil broke. 19, 20. Guess what? 20 is a landmark number because it ends in a 0. Now I'm not going to keep using pennies. Once I get to a landmark number, I'm going to switch to another coin. I'm going to put some 10s on. So I'm at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. I had to kind of squeeze them in down here because I was drawing them too big. So 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so now I've got to 100. I need to count this amount up and figure out how much I'm going to get back. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83. I think we're going to get 83 cents back. But I'm not just going to write it. I'm going to do some thinking. Do these two parts, when I put them together, do they make 100? That's how much $1 is worth. So when I think about it, a 10 and 80 makes 90. A 7 and 3 is a 10. So 90 plus 10 is 100. So if I spend 17 cents, I will get 83 cents back. Let's look at another one. The next one we're going to look at is this marker. Okay, if we go to the store and we buy this marker that is 39 cents, how much will we get back? Well, 39 is not a landmark number because it ends in a 9. That is not a 0 or a 5. So I'm going to use pennies until I get to a landmark number. So 39 plus 1 is 40. Well, 40 is a landmark number. This time I only had to use 1 penny till I got to a landmark number. Now that I'm on 40, I can put different coins on here to get to 100. So I could use all 10s, but I have an idea. So I'm going to put a 10 on, and that will get me to 50. Now, I know something about money. I know something about coins. I have some schema, and so do you. So if I'm at 50, there's 2 coins that I need to get me to 100 that would be a very efficient way to get there, right? Can you think of what they might be? Two quarters, okay? So this would be 40, 50, 75, 100. So I would get back 61 cents. 61 cents. I'm not just going to write my answer and be like, oh, got it for sure. I'm going to double check. What is 60 plus 30? That would make 90. And 9 plus 1 makes a 10. 90 and 10 is 100. Okay? If this is confusing for you, it's okay if you still just count on by 10s. You don't have to use the 2 quarters. It's just a little bit more efficient. And I know some of you are definitely ready to just put the quarters on and get to the 100. Some of you might want to just keep counting on with 10s. It's up to you and what feels right as a mathematician at this point, okay? Let's look at another one. This time we're going to buy this little notebook that costs 84 cents. And we're paying with $1, which is worth 100. So 84, is that a landmark number? Let's look at our ones place. Is that a 5 or a 0? Nope. So I'm going to use pennies until I get to a landmark number. So if I'm at 85, I'm going to count up by 84. I'm sorry. If I count up 1, I land on 85. Okay, 84 plus 1 is 85. Now I'm going to put on a nickel. And that's going to get me to 90. I was at 85. Now I'm at 90. How many more do I need to get to 100? If I'm at 90, how many more would I need to get to 100? I need 10 more. So that's going to get me to 100. So 84 cents is what I spent. This is what I'm going to get back. 10, 15, 16 cents. And I'm going to check myself. Okay? Let's double check this. So what is 80 plus a 10? That's 90. What's 4 plus 6? 10's fact, that's a 10. 90 and 10 make 100. So this part is what I spent. This is the other piece of 100 that I'm going to get back. Okay? Here is a highlighter. I'm going to the store. I buy a highlighter that costs 35 cents. Guess what, guys? 35. Let's think about that number for a second. Is that a landmark number? Yes. Look at our ones place. It's a 5. So I'm not going to use pennies this time. This time I'm going to start with a nickel. So I'm at 35. I'm going to put 5 cents on, and that's going to get me to 40. Now I'm just going to put 10s on till I get to my dollar or to my 100. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so do you see how I did this? I was at 85. I put a 5 on, and that got me to, I was at 35, and 5 got me to 40. And then I just put 10s on, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, because I'm trying to get to that 100. This is what I spent. This is what I'm going to get back. Let's count it up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65 cents. And I'm a good mathematician, so I'm going to double check. I've got 60 and 30, which is 90, and I've got 5 and 5, which is 10. 90 and 10 make 100. We'll look at one last one. Here's a ruler that costs 76 cents. Is 76 a landmark number? Well, let's look at that ones place. Is that a 5 or a 0? No. So I'm not at a landmark number. I'm going to count up with pennies until I land on a landmark number. 77, 78, 79, 80. Guess what? I got to a landmark number. Okay. I had to use 4 pennies. I was at 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Now I'm going to use dimes, 10s, to get me to 100. 90 and 100. See how I did that? I got to 80, then 90 and 100. So how much am I going to get back? I need to count this up. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to get 24 cents back from that dollar. Let's check. 70 and 20 make 90. 6 and 4 make 10. 90 and 10 make 100. Okay, so do you see how those two parts are always going to make 100? Because a dollar is worth 100 cents. So this is the part we're spending. This is the part we get back or that we have left. Okay? I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you when you're thinking about getting change back from a dollar. All right, talk to you soon.